Howdy, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds Wickedstorm Gaming. Hey, let's go to the Yacht Club. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I'm at the Yacht Club. Who are you?
Well, well.
Nice mustache.
Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Neat.
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
Who?
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Holy shit, look at that hair.
Now what can I do for you?
Looks like fucking earthworms. Let's see what you got to trade. You only have drinks. Okay, well, what else you
Something
got?
else I can do?
Eh,
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such.
The what now?
Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after.
Right.
I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though. Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
I mean, it got me in here. I'm not gonna lie.
Nope. But a man can dream.
Pretty sure you're gonna need water for that. Anyway, it was interesting. So, you there with the really bright hair and clothing, who really stands out? Are you going to join my crew, probably?
The little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood. So it's sliding. All over the place. Trying to crawl away.
You okay?
Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud.
Bloody mud. I'm just gonna keep listening to this bullshit.
But I gotta get in there. Get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
You had a big eyes, you know that? I am Greg. Nice to meet you.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
Can I just give you a drink? Yeah, fuck, I don't care.
Outstanding.
2 bits, huh?
What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger?
No fucking idea. Vacation. Kinda.
It is a shithole. It's a free shithole, though. Plenty of ways to blaze your own trail. Folks seem to like that. Besides, the booze is good. Something about that fish oil. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business.
Brass
I'm
tacks,
heading
I
back
think.
out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head.
Yeah, I plan on looking around.
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
You okay?
Well, they work. We got a deal or what? Ah, the charmer. All of the
Just a crazy outfit, though. She's got like 3 layers in the front. Like a vest and a shirt and the jacket. It's crazy. Ooh, piano. I can't play it. What are you? You do anything?
You don't look like Sublight. Got any news from the resting house
I can't steal that. Ooh, hello. What is this? Armor, you say? 36, 9, 9, 19, 22. Those are all shit. But the weapons, you ain't got shit for weapons. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, just playing music at me for some reason. Run away from the music. What am I supposed to do with you? Huh? Yeah, dispensary. Kind of surprised I don't already have one, to be honest. Or whatever the fuck it is.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Neat.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
No idea what the fuck that is. Anyway, forget her stupid dispensary things. I'm exploring. Hello, you look important. What's in here?
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
How many have you got?
Well, new business turns up at last.
Are you wearing a felt
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
suit? Huh?
That you did, sir.
What?
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
The
You've often
loins.
posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
I expect her to say something like, well, your schedule is clear already.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
What the fuck are you?
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Alcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
It can always be both. More weird science product passed off as food in this sprat fucked colony. I'm going to stab someone. That seems a bit. It's hilarious, but it seems a bit hostile. I really want to see what happens.
Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same.
Ooh.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments.
Ooh.
I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Tired of scraping by.
You talk like Graham.
Who?
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get
Thing in the
MSI
background is
restored to the
losing his damn
board.
mind. Look at
On
that flicker.
our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
Well, that's mildly threatening. Yeah, what's going
It's a
on?
two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Oh. That's surprisingly down to earth.
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Neat. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you till you said the phrase extremely powerful ordnance.
I know, right?
It's quite the rush.
I'm not sure if I should give it to you, though. Yeah, what's your part of the
I'll
plan?
need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52
I want to know where
will be
everybody
in
in
the
these
old
fucking
arms
colonies
building
is fighting air
southwest of
dye.
town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in.
Believe it or not, purple hair is not
These
usually
days, it's
natural.
overrun with marauders and raptidons. So taciturn, so dour. I'll be waiting with bated breath. Oh,
That
and
is
while you're at it,
kind of
there should be a
ominous.
terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
I'm gonna read that shit.
What can I do for you?
You are just super fucking... just triggering some flags for me, man.
I
Yeah.
see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He was very polite. Yeah, he did great.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go check on his poster, don't I?
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal
What
mechanisms
was
we
that?
employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Like a light went over his head. What was that? Played were part of you mean you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Huh?
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
What the fuck is MSI? We keep talking about these corporations. I have no idea which one MSI is. Whole for taking of you.
Humane. But it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a
True.
cursory review of the data bears that out.
Yeah.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Word of advice, Sanjar. If Parvati's got something to say, you do well to listen close.
I had no idea you thought so highly of her.
Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we
Oh, no,
learned of a
corporate greed.
loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating
was a moon.
perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Neat. So you embrace your ideas, use the board tools to get some clever.
That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yet you are here.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
more than...
I don't know.
All right.
Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
So make your own. So make your own. The board ain't doing it. Do your own.
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, they'll own your dignity too.
Near.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
Treated pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that? Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
I fear the MSI citizens who've been dissolved into Raptidon Cud would disagree with you. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with
Fair
opportunities...
point. Hard to argue with someone
that's
who's
the
been
path
eaten.
I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes. It'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
Kinda, yeah.
They would say it's for the greater good.
Not for that planet. They focus on Monarch. You sound skeptical.
Monarch may be dangerous, but it's hardly the wasteland the board describes it to be. Whatever the board's goals, the greater good has little part in them.
Yeah.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Okay.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages, or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you?
Oh, that's a tone shift, isn't it?
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek.
Well, I think I'm
But
gonna
if you
bring
insist on
purple
going,
dreads,
I'd
pink
recommend
dreads with
taking
me.
a local guide. Nyoka would be a prime candidate.
If you can keep her sober.
I don't really give a fuck if she's drunk as long as she don't get lost. I don't give a fuck how drunk she is as long as she can do her damn job. Yeah, can't rob this. Okay. Hello, another store. What do you got? Anything neat? 9, 22, 22, 19, 36. Yeah. Lame. There's a lot of it. The fuck? Yeah, okay. I don't know where I am. Can't get in there. Scares me. That's the yacht club. Yeah, I know where I am now.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here.
Wait, Sebastian who? You're not Sebastian. You're Sebastian. You're Sebastian. What the hell are you doing over here?
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails?
Fucking
You
why?
look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
None of this made me want to trade with you.
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life.
Yeah,
As my
I
dad
went
told
there.
it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them.
Oh joy. I can't wait to see one myself.
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we
Probably a
go
good reason for that.
I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
All right, fine. We'll
Tell
look
you
for
what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
it. I guess.
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins.
We should probably get on
Last
that.
Manta Queen I saw was in the wilds out that way.
Fucker's probably being eaten as we
Could
speak.
be Mr. Pickett still out there too.
All right, we'll do that next time. Just because it seems like if we don't hurry, that man's gonna get eaten. For now, though, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want, share if you can, and do what you want. I'll see you next time. Have fun.